Born free as the wind blows, as free as the grass grows, born free to follow your heart.
Ah, beautiful, isn't it? Toilet paper roaming free, the way it was meant to be, unmolested, not torn up, just enjoying life. Isn't this great? Hi, I'm Dogbert, and I'm here to talk to you today about this cause that we've been having going on, and now the Toilet Paper Foundation has been formed to help with promoting this. The Toilet Paper Foundation is all about keeping toilet paper free and making the switch to Marvel Strike Force infographics for all your cleanliness needs. But don't take my word for it. This is such a hot button issue that we even have one of my greatest enemies come in support for this. Take it away, Helmut.
Hail, Helmut! I am Helmut the Grouch. You might know me from Scopely Street, where I play Helmut the Grouch. And I am here today to, believe it or not, support Dogbert and support toilet paper, more importantly, in that we have been abusing it quite often, and it was really needlessly done. When we have Marvel Strike Force infographics so readily available, I mean, why are we doing this? And take it from me, not only do I play an asshole on Scopely Street, I really am one! As an asshole, I can tell you I prefer to be wiped with Marvel Strike Force infographics. Yes, that's right. Marvel Strike Force infographics are definitely the softest available and will get you more cleaners, says this asshole. Back to you, Dogbert.
Thank you for those kind words, Helmut, and for supporting the Toilet Paper Foundation and toilet paper everywhere. Having the support of the #1 asshole in Marvel Strike Force telling you to switch to Marvel Strike Force infographics is a really big help, I think, for toilet paper everywhere. But the Toilet Paper Foundation alone can't do this. We need to reach more people. In order to do that, we need your support. Call today and make a donation where 0 to 100% will be pocketed by me. In support of the Toilet Paper Foundation, not only will you be helping toilet paper everywhere, you'll be helping Dogbert as well. And as our thank you gift, we are going to send you Marvel Strike Force infographics to get you off of toilet paper and on into the right track of using Marvel Strike Force infographics. And to show how sincere we are, enjoy this new infographic. Alright, we got the plunger in my head, and we're going to need it today. Because you know what it's time for. It's time for another of Dogbert's Team Toilet Paper Infographic. And has voted on in my Discord, it is the Secret Defenders today. So let's go and take a look at the Secret Defenders, our next arena team that is slowly coming into the game that we have to build and put our resources into. We'll look at the first one up, and that is Photon. Photon coming in with this wipe. And what is my ISO recommendation for her? Believe it or not, it's Raider. If you look at her kit, she's attacking all enemies. We want Raider. Now, some people are going to be like, oh, you should use Striker on her because it clears positive effects. Good luck clearing positive effects on somebody who has Safeguard. I am making this based off of what we're going to be using them for that is in the arena. Could you use Striker elsewhere? Yes. But I am talking about them in the arena where they should be getting used. How much are we going to really use them outside of arena? We'll probably use them Crucible and War. Photon being a very interesting character in that she has the A-Force tag and can be moved over there, so you can put somebody else with the Secret Defenders. I see a lot of theory crafting is going to happen. Of course, one of the things I got to mention before I started this is that this is all subject to change based on the theory crafting that we end up coming up with new characters coming down the line. Plus, once we finally get the full team, and can start moving the characters around because we really need Black Cat to make everything work. That is going to make things very interesting, and things are very subject to change. So, as I was just talking about her basic, this does increase the positive effects that she clears, but this right now is a nice to have. It is definitely not required. I don't know how often you're actually going to be using this basic. This team is very much a short fight team, not a long fight team. If you wanted to bring her into Dark Dimension 6, 5, whatever, then you might want to move this up on your recommendation list of when you put a T4 onto her. Her special is recommended. This isn't required. This is a very good ability. The blind goes on without the T4. So the T4, all that does is 70% extra damage to both the primary and secondary targets, versus the adjacent targets. That's roughly 210%. If you hit 3 characters on normal. And on War Offense, it heals Secret Defender and A-Force for 30% of her health. That is quite nice. This is why it is a recommended. And moving on to her ultimate, also recommended. Problem with this is more of a turn 2, turn 3 ability. Except in War. In War, you'll actually be able to use this turn 1. This T4 gives 60% damage to all enemies she's hitting the entire board. That is a lot of damage. And the bigger thing is she is giving speed up to Secret Defender and A-Force allies. That's why this is recommended at this point. It's not required because she doesn't do this turn 1 in Arena, only in War, and their main focus is supposed to be Arena. But if you're more into War, you might want to move this one up a bit. And finally, we come to her passive, which is required. So what does this do? It is a flat-out 30% damage boost to her and the rest of the Secret Defenders in Arena. This is where they're supposed to be at. You want that extra 30% damage, that is for sure. Moving on to the next character. Who we're going to wipe in with? Oh, it's Ms. Marvel, Hardlight. Now, this is a character I would recommend you want high stars on, because this is the tank of the team, and she is going to be taunting a lot. Now, I see a lot of people are running Skirmisher on her. You don't need that, actually. If you actually read her kit, you don't need it now. If you're using her off the team, you might want Skirmisher because her focus is low, but on the team, absolutely do not need it. As we'll see in Ghost Rider Robbie, he gives focus to the team, making it so that you only need a Raider on here. Clicked a little too fast there, but you already saw that her basic is only a luxury. This is just simply 50% damage. You're really not using the basic very often. However, once we get into the special, this is recommended. What this does, it allows it to apply +1 safeguard in Arena up to a maximum of 2. This is more of a turn 2 ability, but maybe with some hybrids it becomes turn 1, because you actually have this one and her ultimate available turn 1. Now, as of right now, her ultimate is the required one. That is one you're usually going to use turn 1. This reduces speed bar by 30%. For not just the primary target, but also the adjacent targets as well. Very powerful. She is very fast on spawn due to her passive. Don't forget. But after her first turn, she slows down quite a bit. She does gain taunt with either the special or the ultimate, so she's going to be taunting a lot. And what this T4 does in this ultimate, it gives her 90% more damage, which is quite nice. But the big thing is she applies safeguard to the entire team. And the reason why I'm saying this is so important, if the other team has Apocalypse, normally Black Cat does give on spawn safeguard to the Secret Defenders. Of course, if there's Apocalypse, they won't get that. But because she's so fast, she'll go first, and she'll just put safeguard out there anyway, kind of nullifying Apocalypse's whole block safeguard thing because of how quick she is. And finally, her passive also required. What this does, it gives 10% extra barrier on spawn, 25% armor for herself and the rest of the team, and the big thing is for her in Arena, 50% max health. Remember, she's going to be taunting a lot, taking a lot of damage. The more health she has, the longer she's going to survive. She's pretty much a turn 1, do stuff, and then take a beating, so you're definitely going to want her big. You're going to want as much health as you want. I can get out of her. She's quite good for Arena. Whether or not she's good in other game modes, maybe there'll be a worth it video on her. And now we come to the third member of the team, and I think you know what that means. It's time for the turd of the team! And my God, is this one a big, stinky turd! You might need this plunger in my head to get this one to flush down the toilet. They would have been better off just leaving this character off the team, just giving us a 4-person team. That's how much this character sucks. And that character is, of course, the OG Doctor Strange. I mean, this is a horrible piece of shit. I mean, my God. He makes Scarlet Witch look good. If you're actually going to bother with him, healer, I guess? I don't know, he doesn't really do much. As for his basic, it's a piece of crap. A little bit extra damage onto crap damage equals crap. His special, if you're actually going to use him, is required. This is what allows him to flip all buffs. Of course, if they have Safeguard, he isn't flipping anything. Kind of makes you wonder why they even bothered with this. Ultimate, absolute crap. If you're reviving somebody, something has gone absolutely wrong. The fact that you have Doctor Strange on the team means something has really gone wrong with your theory crafting. And his passive is just a luxury. Why are you putting any resources into this character? And to begin with, I don't know. This shouldn't even be a contender. Next, we have Ghost Rider Robbie. Now, he does give the focus to the team. He's actually kind of fast, giving out a lot of damage. Interesting mechanic that when a bleed is applied, he gets 10% speed bar to any enemy whenever a bleed is applied, which is quite an interesting mechanic. Could see some theory crafting with him when it comes to dark dimensions and etc. Just because of that mechanic, was very interesting. But on the team, he is also a raider. He's attacking a lot of characters. We want him to do big damage. We want to get some crits out of him. We want him to maybe apply some vulnerables. As you can see, we have lots of raiders on this team. His basic is just nice to have. It's 60% piercing to primary and secondary targets, and it applies a bleed to a secondary attack. We'll have to see how that goes. I don't really see it being that useful, at least on the team. Again, this is a very quick fight type team. How often are we going to really be using those basics? Now, outside of this, the value could go up. As for his special, this is a recommended. Oop, wrong color. I'll have to fix that post onto the actual infographic, so ignore this on the video. I'll fix it on the actual infographic, which will be available. But it's recommended. This is 50% piercing to primary attack, 60% piercing to secondary attack, and immunity for 2 turns instead of just 1 turn. It's a lot of extra damage. This is the first turn move for Ghost Rider Robbie, so you're definitely going to want to look into it. His ultimate is a required one if you're going to actually get this as more of a turn 2 ability. The big thing about it, not only does it apply 3 bleed to all enemies, which will give him even more speed bar, 80% piercing to all enemies, that's a lot of damage. It also applies trauma to all enemies. That's something we definitely want, but that only works in arena. But it's still pretty much a required T4 to make him work the way we really want him to work. And finally, his passive is just nice to have. It lowers resistance of all bio enemies by 100% and lowers the counterattack for all bio enemies with immunity by 100%. This is more of a Red Hulk call out. How useful this is really going to be in the future, we don't know. Could be more useful in Dark Dimension, Cosmic Crucible, Theory Crafting again. So we'll have to look into that as time goes on. And like I said, this is the character who gives the focus to the team. And finally, we come to a true legendary today, Black Cat. This is the one who's going to make this whole team go and really work right. And her ISO is a striker. If you have not seen Black Cat's basic, you would understand why she is a striker if you see it. Because she's going to reduce the primary target speed bar by 5% and fill her own speed bar by 5%. So obviously, if you got an ISO attack in there, of an extra ISO attack, to do that twice, that's 10%. You absolutely want that. Plus, she's going to gain an extra charge every time she does this. Quite nice. But her basics T4 is just a nice to have. It's 60% piercing just to the primary target and applies 2 bleed instead of 1 bleed. It's not that big of a jump. to say, like, yeah, you really need it. The character works perfectly fine without it. Moving on to her special. This will be her first turn move. And this is absolutely required because this is applying the trauma to the primary target. And this ability does apply a stun, so if you have trauma and stun, you can stun a target as normally unstunnable, like an Apocalypse or Dr. Doom. The basic ability, it also gives 2 charge to herself and all Secret Defender allies, which you definitely want to get lots of charge on these teams because they do special things once they get to 5 charged. So you absolutely want this, absolutely required to help make the team work the way they're supposed to. Her ultimate is a recommended. Again, this is more of a turn 2, turn 3 type move. What it does, it's only useful in arena, but it does apply trauma. If she has trauma, she's going to apply trauma to the primary target. If that primary target has safeguard, she'll gain safeguard. This is kind of more of a niche one, but if you're in the mirror match, there's going to be a lot of safeguards out there. There's going to be a lot of traumas out there. We're definitely going to want to probably look into this. That's why I'm putting it recommended for now. And finally, her passive also is a recommended. Now, this is a weird one because she's going to be getting an extra ability like a Nova type deal. The basic T4 is just at the start of a match, bio enemies cannot spawn with speed up. This is a call to 2099. So why is this recommended? Because in order to get to the next level, you need to do that, which is big, which is going to be very interesting come the mirror matches. That is on arena offense. Enemies cannot spawn with death proof. Essentially, when she's on offense and you go against the mirror match of her, she's not going to get those 9 death proofs. So if she's on defense, again, here's where the theory crafting comes in, because your Black Cat will get neutered on defense. Do you leave her on defense? Probably. But it's going to be a lot easier to take out the mirror once you have this extra ability. I don't know what we want to call it. Plus, you lowers damage reduction for all enemies that do not have death proof by 15%. In other words, they're taking 15% more damage, roughly. It's a very interesting ability if you actually spend the money, probably. Let's face it, it's Scruply. You're going to be spending money in order to get this ability up this high. But if you did get it, it would be highly recommended, if not damn near required, if you're facing another Black Cat in the arena. So I hope that gives you a good overview of just what to put the T4s and ISO abilities for the Secret Defenders as they stand right now. Of course, with theory crafting, like I said, coming out, this could all change. Who knows who will be left on the team? Who knows what the team will look like once we get done with our hybrids? Until next time, everybody.